It speaks to the way my work has evolved, which is more and more about just what my hands can do. The title itself comes out of something a student said when trying to be persuaded to paint instead of make sculpture. And I was there, she was being interviewed, and the dean, who's a painter, was trying to tell her that she needed to paint before she made sculpture because that would teach her about seeing. And at some point, in sheer frustration, she yelled out, "But hands have eyes." And I thought it was perfect. It echoes something that Immanuel Kant was reported to have said at some point, fairly casually, I believe, which was, the hand is a window on the mind. And I love that. So that's where the title came from. I mean, I've always used easy to acquire, inexpensive materials. That seems to have been somehow or other important. The material itself is a means to an end. It changes over time, what I'm using. The resin and fiberglass, in the case of what we have in this room, are a means to make something made out of cardboard or foam core secure and relatively permanent. Color seems to me to carry a kind of emotional content. It seems to me to create a sense of where the thing is, how it registers, how it feels. And to get the color to somehow or other mesh with the form is one of the most difficult things. There was a phase of work after I started making watercolors where I was trying to integrate the color into the making of the form. And there were some nice pieces, but somehow or other it didn't get sustained. And so often there's an application of color which then has to be revisited. It means sometimes pieces in ceramic get glazed and then they're not right and they get painted. They do that not during the making, they do that once they are resolved, and in a sense I'm contemplating them and asking them, what are they telling me? That's when there's a connection with a memory, sometimes very particular memory, or just a character from somewhere, but it comes after the making. If it starts to occur during the making of the object, it gets in the way. It makes it very difficult then, and I have to kind of get rid of whatever it is that's bringing up that association in order to formally resolve the work. Mirror, Mirror is a piece that occurred, it was one of a number of transitional pieces that occurred between the work that is purely geometric, which is what I made after I went to America. I went to America in 1979, or I relocated in 1979. So from then up to somewhere in towards about the later 1980s, 86, 87 maybe, everything I made was geometric, flat surfaces, straight edges. And then there was a piece that was made that way, and I took a big piece out of it, and it's over there, all spitting. I then started to try to integrate a kind of, the geometric work with, curved surfaces and curved edges and sometimes complex curves. And this is one of the pieces that was resolved in that period of transition. Being able to show work, from pretty much the whole of my career, and to show it in Wales and to show work that I've made in America that hasn't been seen in the UK. And I've made infinitely more work in America than I made when I was practicing in the UK. It's a wonderful gift, and I am really profoundly grateful. I've been wanting for a long time, for people here in Wales and in the UK generally to be, actually engage the work that I've been making in America, to see that I think essentially I'm still a British artist, perhaps even a Welsh artist. What I would like people to experience is a kind of uncertainty that will actually make them feel a little bit more alive, and to leave with that sense of having encountered something that they don't quite know, but nevertheless they've had an experience. They've not been given information, they've not been given a message. Hopefully, I would like them to have had an experience and to go away with that experience, for it to affect them, in some way.